Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Brotel. There's a new banner that just got released on Fire Emblem Heroes, and it's called Battling Robin. This banner features the 4 characters Hawkeye, Fur, Maria, and Old Tiki. Now, this was the banner that I thought was gonna come out on the 27th and replacing the Family Bonds banner, but that is not the case. So that's some good news, because there might be a new banner featuring new units that will come out and replace the Family Bonds banner on the 27th. So look forward to that. But anyways, the point of this video was for me to review these 4 characters and kind of give you my insight on these guys, so that you guys can decide for yourself whether or not it's worth the orbs to try and pull for these characters. So let's jump into the review. Alright, so the first unit we're going to take a look at is Fur, the sword student. She is a red sword infantry unit, and at max level she averages around 41 HP, 36 attack, 39 speed, 24 defense, and 31 resistance. If you compare her stats with other sword units, then it's not that good, mainly because of her low attack. If she had around 43 or higher attack, then I would say she would be bearable. So from her stats, it seems that she is meant to be a mage killer, because she does have high resistance and enough speed and attack to kill mages in a couple turns, since mages usually lack in the defense stat. However, she is completely useless against lance units and maybe even sword units, and with 36 attack, I would even add that she might not even do that well versus top tier axe units with high defense and HP. Now let's take a look at her skills and go over them one by one. Her weapon is Killing Edge Plus. It accelerates special trigger, cooldown -1. Can't really evaluate this skill without seeing the special, so let's see what her special is. Her special is Glacies, and it's on a 4 attack charge. It boosts damage dealt by 80% of the unit's resistance. So she takes 80% of her resistance and deals it as extra damage, and Glacies is reduced from 4 to 3 because of her weapon. And I would say 3 turns is probably still too long for Fur. She will probably only be able to use this ability once per stage, unless you are facing nothing but like mages or you have like a team built around her. Not really a big fan of the special. Her type A passive is speed +3. It grants her 3 more speed. Probably doesn't need any more speed. I would rather her have something like +3 attack. Her type C passive is pass 3. It lets Fur pass through foes only if her HP is at or above 25%. So this skill basically allows Fur to pass through the units that she can't beat and attack the mages in the back, then probably die the next turn because she just passed through a whole bunch of units that she couldn't kill, so she's gonna get attacked by those units. As a unit, I don't like her. I think she's really bad. She only excels as a mage killer, and I mean, you can kill mages with a lot of other sword units in the game that also do other things better, so I would definitely not pull for her. Alright, so next up is the man with no nipples, also known as Hawkeye, the Desert Guardian. He is a green axe infantry unit, and at max level he averages around 45 HP, 44 attack, 22 speed, 28 defense, and 30 resistance. His HP, attack, and resistance aren't too shabby, but his speed and defense are on the lower side. His weapon is the Killer Axe Plus. It accelerates his special, and his special is one of the more interesting skills in the game, which is Growing Light. It has a 5 attack charge, which gets reduced to 4, and the effect is before combat, foes in a wide area near target take damage equal to the unit's attack minus the foe's defense or resistance. So this skill is interesting because it can become the best area effect damage, or it can be the worst one, and it all depends on the difference in stats. His type A passive is Death Blow 3. It grants him 6 attack if the unit initiates combat, so this skill will further increase his special damage, which is nice. His type C passive is Threaten Attack 3. It inflicts -5 attack on foes within 2 spaces through their next actions at the start of each turn. I like this ability on Hawkeye because it increases his survivability. He needs this ability because his defense is not too great and his speed's really low, so you want to reduce as much damage as possible. But I think if you want to use Hawkeye to the fullest, you kind of need to build a team around him a little bit, which means you need a healer and maybe have units like Erica who can give Hawkeye like a attack buff and a speed buff. And if you have a team like that, I can see Hawkeye being a pretty good unit. If you just send him out there alone and not have a healer, then he'll probably die really fast. So overall, let's say he's a decent unit, but probably not worth spending orbs for. Alright, the next unit is Maria, Minerva's sister. She is a healer infantry unit, and at max level she averages around 36 HP, 37 attack, 34 speed, 19 defense, and 32 resistance. I'm not going to bash her stats too much or talk about it too much since she is a healer and healers are expected to have low stats. But I would expect Maria to die to almost every physical attacker in the game, so definitely learn to position her well. So Maria's weapon is Panic, and its effect is after combat, bonuses on targeted foe become penalties through its next action. I guess it's a nice ability to have in case an enemy now gets like a buff and you want to invert it into a debuff. But other than that, I don't see people attacking much with Maria since she probably would just be sitting in the back healing. She has 2 assists. The first one is Mend, which has 1 range and restores 10 HP. And her second assist is Physic, which has 2 range but restores for 8 HP and all allies within 2 spaces of the target. If you need a healer on your team, I would suggest getting one with Physic. I think it's a better option than Mend overall, mainly because it helps with positioning, and positioning is very important on healers. She has 2 specials. Her first one is Miracle, which has a charge of 5, and its effect is if HP is above 1, survive a lethal hit with 1 HP remaining. So if your positioning sucks ass, then you probably want to use this special. The other reason you want to use it is if you're in a situation where you need a unit to bait an enemy and then take a hit, then you would use Maria with Miracle. Long charge and not that useful. I'm not a fan of it. Her second special is Imbue, which has a charge of 1 and it basically increases healing by 10. Definitely better than Miracle, I think. 1 charge will mean you get to use this every other turn, if not every turn. She only has 1 passive, and it's her Type C passive, which is Fortify Resistance 3, which grants adjacent allies plus 4 resistance through their next actions at the start of each turn. It's a simple and nice ability, and as I said in my previous review video, that I love these type of AoE buffs. They are easy to use, and that a plus 4 stat boost can potentially save your units. So if you need a healer, then I guess Maria isn't too bad of a unit, but there are better options than her, like Elise and Alyssa, and maybe even Julia. Again, I don't think she is worth pulling for. As a matter of fact, I don't even think any healer in the game is worth pulling for right now. Alright, so finally, the last unit is Tiki, Naga's Voice, also known as Old Tiki. She is a Beast Transformer infantry unit, and at max level she averages at about 40 HP, 46 attack, 23 speed, 35 defense, and 24 resistance. She has very nice attack and defense, but suffers in the speed department. Her weapon is Lightning Breath Plus, which enables counterattack regardless of attacker's range, but slows her special charge by 1. If a unit has this skill, this is what makes them really good. The ability to counterattack at 1 or 2 range is extremely good. She has high defense, so you can use her to bait and counterattack colorless units like archers and ninjas. Her special is Bonfire, which has a 3 charge that will be increased to 4 because of her weapon. And it boosts damage dealt by 50% of units' defense. So since Tiki has high defense, half of that will be added as extra damage. And I personally have 4-star old Tiki, and I can tell you that no green or red unit survives from this ability in PvE or story mode, or the tower stage or whatever. Her Type A passive is Defiant Attack 3, which grants her 7 attack at the start of the turn if Tiki has 50% or more HP. Good ability, more attack is always nice. Her Type C is Spur Resistance 3, which grants adjacent allies 4 resistance during combat. These AoE buffs are a little harder and trickier to use than the other one, since it activates during the combat, but nonetheless, it's really good. So if you need a good physical tank versus red, green, or colorless, then Tiki will fill that spot. And from personal experience, having some type of healer on the team helps Tiki a lot by allowing her to survive long enough to get multiple specials in. And saying all that, I'd say she is probably the best unit in this banner. But does that mean you should pull for this banner? No, do not pull for any of these units unless you just like collecting certain units for whatever reason. All these units are overshadowed by other better units, so definitely save your orbs or even spend it and try to get Erica or Julia from the Family Bonds banner. And that's it, guys. That was my review of the units from the Battling Robin banner. I hope this video was helpful, and I will do more of these when new banners come out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.